Hi, Jill. Let me see if I can do it this way. Try to have some functionality. And now you're little. Okay, you might have to lead me through the episode guide because I don't think the dual screen is working for me.
Okay.
I'm just putting my phone.
Let me
We're here. We're black in action.
Black and action.
Let me pull up my phone.
See, I need to get out of that.
And once we get some friends, some podcast friends, then like it'll allow you to broadcast live, and then people can chat can type live or chat.
And ask us questions. We can have our show and shit. This is an actual show.
Once we get our production together.
Yeah. What you say? Once we get out the way.
Production, true.
Oh yeah. Be nice to us, y'all. We just
need an intern, y'all.
Girl, I have tried to lead interns and it never has gone well. But girl, I tried to fire them bitches and they still showed up.
How you try to fire them? They still came.
Just that, Alexis.
They still came to work.
Well, yeah. Well, then I sat them down. I was like, I'm letting you all go, and the two of them started to fucking cry and boo-hoo.
Yeah.
I was just way too nice. I was way too nice then. I should have been like, this is my shit. Get the fuck out of here. You have for you.
That sounds that way. Let me see. I don't have a drink, but I can.
I already drank my drink.
Huh?
I already drank my drink.
Yeah, that's a first.
Girl, I'm tired. What happened?
A lot happened in a little bit of time.
I'm getting old. That's what happened.
What was supposed to be ready for? It's okay. So, welcome back to another episode of Heard to the Grapevine podcast. I'm your host, Lex.
I'm Tiana. Wait, what? What you say?
What's that? I said you.
Wait, what? Okay, take two.
Welcome back, everybody.
Take three.
Okay, welcome back, everybody, to the First Grapevine podcast. I'm one of your hosts, Lex.
I'm Tiana.
We're back, y'all. We're back.
Oh, okay. I was like, are you going to say something else?
Yeah, we gotta do that better this time. The nervousness. We recorded like probably 4 or 5 times. I don't know what happened to the last episode.
Okay, we have recorded about like 4 or 5 times. That is true.
We recorded.
Okay. Take 6.
I really hate this background too. It's really ugly. And it's just not us. So we gotta figure that out.
Really? Honestly, girl, first of all, everybody, it's been a long ass year and it's only February and I am over it. I'm just all over it. I just can't with life. I feel like some days, like, I feel like I'm on top of the world, and other days, I feel like a damn potato.
Not a potato. What?
I do.
It's talked in a while, so what's been up? What's been going on?
What's been up?
I know my shit ain't staying with battery after all of this.
What is saying that? See, it's just like, I feel like every time you do something, it's like 3 steps back, you know?
Literally. I know it.
Forward, 3 steps back. This shit is for the birds, honestly. And how do people do this shit so effortlessly? You know what I'm saying? Like, did it take them 80 times? You know, like, are we just still trying to learn? maybe we should give ourselves more grace.
I'm not skilled at this and don't know what the
I
heck
think
to
we should
do.
give ourselves grace.
So what? Okay, there we go.
We should give
Is it gonna
ourselves more grace. We should give ourselves more grace.
So, but yeah, what's been your updates? We haven't talked in a minute.
What's been my update? I don't even know. I just feel school. I'm still in school, obviously, trying to stay ahead, but feel like I'm slowly but surely falling behind.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just exhausted. Honestly, I've been feeling a lot of exhausted and overwhelmed for the last 3 weeks.
Yeah.
And just like struggling to find like real downtime, because like I will make downtime for myself, but then resting like is like this like conscious of guilt that just overwhelms me. And so it's hard to kind of like revel in resting. So that's been kind of like hard and difficult. And then I don't know, like I feel like sometimes what has been bothering me? I think a lot of things like in the news, like lately about like student loan debt has been like on my mind. And I just feel like as Black people, but specifically like Black women and Black trans women, like we just cannot get ahead for anything. And so I've been trying to just kind of like switch my little framework or switch the ways that I like think sometimes, so like life can like make sense to me. And just one thing particularly, it's like I have like friends that are like buying houses and they're not Black. And so I'm like, not saying that you didn't work for anything that you got, but sometimes I just feel like you just got it because you're not Black.
Yeah, I can see that. I can see that.
Because like truly, and it's so funny because I had American Family Insurance, and they had canceled my car insurance because I had missed 2 payments. But you remember when like my car had got broken into, and I had to like change all my bank account information, and so the first time I didn't update that information. And so like I thought it didn't dawn on me that like the payments weren't going through and I wasn't getting any email or like mails or calls. But once I found out, like I paid the full amount. And then I had a temporary card that I had just put on file. So until I got my bank information or my new bank card, I could re-enter that current information. But then I also like forgot because like fucking life. And there's a whole thing with like US Bank and a racist ass anyway. So that was another thing. But the lady had called me and she was like, oh, like we're gonna cancel your insurance because the credit underwriters don't like that you missed 2 payments. And I explained, I said, well, the first time like my bank account was compromised because some people stole my bank information and social security card like out of my car, so I had to close my account. And the second time, like I genuinely just didn't, I forgot to enter in that information. But I was just like, you motherfuckers are going to cancel my car insurance because of 2 missed payments? Why don't you just stop the services until I pay
right,
the money that I owed? Yeah. And so then I was saying, I've never missed a payment up until that time. So over the 2 months, which unbeknownst to me, like I just wasn't really paying attention to it. And I have all these external factors that are really overwhelming me. And just like, it's human nature to forget, especially when you have a lot going on and you had to update your information twice.
Right.
And then she was like, well, the credit underwriters want you to provide proof of like fraudulent activity. I said, first of all, I'm not a kindergarten and I don't have a doctor's note.
Mm-hmm.
And also,
You said
I
that?
canceled, yes, I said I also canceled my bank account as a preventative measure so my stuff would not be compromised.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, like I'm not about to go back and forth with you because like I truly feel like if it was a white person that was wealthy, it would be seen you'd give some sort of grace.
Great. Yeah.
Because people miss payments all the time, whether it is for a financial crisis when we are in COVID right now, or whether it is because they just forgot to update their bank information, or maybe their card was just expired. Like these things happen. I have so much portals that I operate off of that I have to update every time like I lose my fucking card, or every time I have to close a bank account because of fraudulent I don't know, like fraudulent activity. So I'm like, I'm not about to go back and forth with you to like prove myself. Like this is just bullshit.
Right.
So I closed that. I said, you know what, listen, like I don't want to go back and forth with you. Like I'm just closing my fucking insurance, and I got Allstate, which is I get the same damn services for $30 cheaper.
Oh really?
Yeah. So I'm like, man, fuck y'all. And honestly, I knew that I know that I can get a lower rate. For me personally, it's just the time. Like I didn't have time to look at or compare different car insurance. So I genuinely just stuck with them. Even though I knew I could get a lower rate. So I was just like, fuck y'all. And just went to Allstate. So here I am.
Yeah.
But it's just
go ahead.
No, it's just bullshit.
The same thing happened to me because I had Progressive last year, and I missed a payment because I missed my bills that bill was automated, but I missed a payment because I had canceled my card because of another reason. I felt like my shit might be compromised and somebody might try to take my money. So I went ahead and just closed the card completely and just got a new one. But I forgot to update that information. So then I got a message saying their insurance had also been canceled. And then they were saying to like reinstate it, because I think I was at the end of the cycle or whatever. To reinstate it, I gotta pay like an additional $100, so which would have made it like whatever the payment was, which I think was like $2 something at the time, on top of like additional couple other $100. I said, oh no, that won't be happening. I just shopped for new insurance, and then I got Geico, which is also several dollars cheaper, like much cheaper than it was with Progressive. So
yeah, it's crazy.
Some commercials.
Right.
Adulting is hard.
Adulting is, but like I don't feel like I feel like I think it's so normal and natural that people miss payments and that these like life situations happen. It's not out of the ordinary. And I just wonder like how often does this happen to like white people and non-Black people of color? Because like if this was like, and I know this is the case, nobody would have car insurance. Like nobody. And it's like, it makes no sense to me. Like, why would you cancel somebody's whole car insurance? Why don't you just stop the fucking services? And until they pay you back, you reinstate it. Like, I just don't understand. So fuck you, credit underwriters.
Damn, they got to sip on that early, huh? Right. I was going to say, what did she say when you said, my partner, I don't have a doctor's note. What did she say when you said,
you know what? I understand. It does not make any sense. I agree with you. I said, yeah. And I was past this point of like right now, because I'm so depleted in my energy. Like, I'm not going to like be irate and call you like a dumbass and a stupid bitch. And I also understand like it's not totally you.
It's like company policy.
Right. And I'm like, well, your company policy is bullshit. So took my business elsewhere. She was like, would you like me to like keep you on our list if he wanted you back? I said, please take me off. I don't want anything to do with you. No, ma'am.
I love that. Please, I don't want anything to do with it. Just the calmest tone.
Girl.
That's really funny. Do you have life updates? I'm late. Nothing else? School? Life?
School. Sometimes like I do feel like I have like issues with school sometimes, but like honestly, I've been doing pretty decent. So there was this one that I was like, in one of my classes, like my professors didn't know how to work the audio when he was trying to play a video, a YouTube video. And white women just like always be trying to like offer stupid ass advice. It didn't even make any sense. So I know what I'm talking about, you know? And so I said, Professor, I think that there is a button that you have to push to share your audio. And this like white bitch was like, oh, I don't think it's anything that you're doing. I just think that it's zooming and that it lags. No, it is not, dumbass.
Oh my God.
It is the fuck not.
And that is why white women specifically, we all, you know, white men have their own place on my nerves. But white women specifically get on my nerves because they think everything they say is law. It's fact. It's immovable. Like, I know what I'm talking about. So you don't have to undermine me by sharing your non-factual comments. I cannot stand it, Tiana. And I don't really got no white people in my life because of it. I just can't.
I'm telling you, because
they about something that grinds my gears.
White women.
Yeah.
Because they drive you up a motherfucking wall. And you know what's so fucked up? It's like, then another white bitch was like, I think you have to like share your audio.
Like you said.
So you know what I get? I went in the chat box and I like told my friend Deja. I said, didn't I not just say that?
What did she say?
She said, you did. I just think that he was flustered. But I'm like, which is true. But I'm like, also, it's like, black man, like, did you not fucking hear me? And it's like, the thing of that pisses me off is that I am right. I am right. And you continue to push me through the margins. And these white bitches like come and say the same shit that I'm saying. And all of a sudden, like, you get it. One. Yeah. And number two, like, you bitch. And this is a trauma and policing class when we are centering police brutality in Black communities. And you white bitches don't know how to uplift me or like say, well, I think that's what Tiana said. But you motherfuckers just so worried about being right. I'm like, man, you know what? I got someone to drown.
Yeah.
So I was like, you know, and I'm like, you know what, Tiana, you a smart bitch because you said that first and you know exactly what the fuck was the matter.
You do. And I'm in a place for myself where sometimes I won't, it depends on who the person is. Sometimes I won't offer the help or the solution, knowing that I have it because you're not about like undermine or make me feel invisible, even though I'm here like helping you. That's just not going to happen. That's just not going to happen. There have been plenty of times, like in, you know, especially particularly work circumstances. And I know some people don't genuinely mean the harm, but different work circumstances where I've thought of a solution, I've, you know, created a program or some sort of like initiative. I've, you know, given an answer where one needed to be given, and there was no acknowledgement. Someone kind of like took the idea, the solution, the answer on as their own with no thanks, Lexus. Good time. Like, you ain't about to do that to me.
Right, because it's too much. Because you capitalize off of everything I motherfucking say. So now I'm like, figure out your own damn self. Shit, I don't got time for your white ass, white explaining shit.
Yeah, just, no, I'm just in a place where there's no place in my life anymore.
Go to hell, bitch. That's that on that. So I feel like that's kind of like been my life.
Well, I don't know. Can't really say much of anything for myself. Back home. Back in Maryland now. It felt good to like be back in my space. I will say, because I was home for like literally a month and a half, coming back home and sleeping in my own bed and being in my own apartment, I woke up the next day like, oh, where am I? Knowing that I was home, but I just forgot that like I had came home. So it's good to be back here. But literally every day just feels like another day to me, and I'm not having a hard time looking forward to things because there are things that are coming up that I'm excited about. But on a day-to-day basis, it's just like, here we are yet again. You know, there's no, I don't know, no gust. Is that gust? Gusto. I don't know. It's just nothing there.
I feel that.
They could be live, you know, grateful to wake up because some people didn't, but it's just like, dang, yet another day.
Yet another day. What is it? Same shit, different day?
like literally. And even like working from home, I still find myself living for the weekend because I don't got to do nothing.
Girl, fuck. If that ain't real, I don't know what the fuck is. Living for the
I'm curious if, like, on the other side of this pandemic, if they'll come out with like a different work culture. A lot of people have been talking about like this 4-day work week concept, which they've been doing over in Europe. So I'm wondering if we might adapt.
Well, you know, I was gonna say it'll be a cold day in hell when that happens.
In America.
Oh, it'll be so fucking cold. It'll probably snow.
Probably. You know what people should do though?
What?
Despite them, is take your PTO every Friday. Call off.
Girl.
4-day work week.
I mean, seriously.
That's all.
And I think that their work week starts a little bit later in the day.
In Europe.
Mm-hmm. I don't think it's not. I think it's more like 10 to 6 or something.
I could do. Well, I don't know about 6. I could start at 10. But then they get like lunch breaks in the middle of the day. You get to go home.
Yeah, they do.
Not some countries. You get to go home, have a snack, lay down, watch Netflix. But my problem is I wouldn't want to go back. Don't send me home and then.
We're so American. We have to adjust. You got to give us 30 years to adjust.
Okay, you can send me home, and I might do the rest of what I got to do for the day from home. But I
gotta go back. That's what I never understood. Like when my mom's generation and my big mama's generation, they used to be able to go home for lunch. I'm like, how the hell did you want to go back to school?
No, yeah,
the fuck not.
I cannot imagine. Mm-mm. Well, should we go ahead and start?
Sure. What is it? Name that motherfucking vibe. Sure.
Okay, so yeah, the first segment is the vibes. I don't know if I have new music to share with you. Do you have anything new to share with me?
I honestly, like, as I said, I don't know if I have not listened to anything really on replay.
Oh, I do have one thing. I'm so sorry. I have one thing. You haven't listened to anything?
Anything? Let me see if I have their music.
No, I was being literal. You haven't listened to anything?
Oh, no. I said, no. I was like, do I have their music? I have listened. Oh, and then you know what comes up? Anything by SZA. Huh? You keep breaking up, girl.
It's called Anything?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, Lord. Here we go. Can you hear me?
Mm-hmm. I can hear you.
Okay, now I can see you. You said the song called Anything by SZA?
Mm-hmm. Anything by SZA. It's on her, not her latest album, the one before, the one that she's trying to come out with now.
Oh, okay.
But no, I mean, I have been listening to 2 songs and to music, but I'm not
feeling it. I have one that you might like that. I do. It's you probably have no idea who he even is, but there's this guy named Ty Dolla $ign. You know him?
Oh, I know Ty Dolla $ign. Yeah.
Right. So Ty Dolla $ign, I guess it's his newest project from 2020. He has a song with Musiq Soulchild on it, and somebody. Oh, it's got Black on there. You know Black? 6
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And it has someone named Tish Hyman, and the song is called Your Turn. It's so good.
Okay.
Love never felt so good. I always knew it could. I don't wanna let it go. it's your turn, baby. It's just your turn, it's your turn, it's your turn, baby. Nobody's truly yours. It's just your turn, baby. Nobody's truly yours. It's just your turn, baby. It's your turn, it's your turn, it's your turn, baby. It's just your turn, it's your turn, it's your turn, baby. Nobody's truly yours. It's just your turn, baby. It's just your turn,
Right. Yeah, so that's the song. But I love it so much because you can tell that Music So Child is like on the record. It just has its sound. And like his he probably like, helps produce it and all that kind of stuff. So it just felt like his turn.
It's pretty. It's really pretty. It's your turn.
Yeah, it's your turn. I will say the message is a little questionable when you think about it. Because at first I was listening to it, like, oh, this is so vibey, it's so romantic. And then somebody asked me, I was like, do you know what it's about? Like, oh yeah. But then I like thought about it again. I was like, oh, it's really just about someone taking turns with like different partner. Like you meet somebody and it's like, oh, it's your turn. And then I'll meet somebody that's gonna be hurt. Like it's not as romantic as I thought.
It's her turn to be loved.
To be loved. That's what I thought too. But then the lyrics are like, nobody's truly yours. It's just your turn. I'm like, ooh.
Oh, I don't know. Never mind. It's okay. But you can't,
But it's a good sounding song. I listen to it all the time. So vibey. So vibey.
It is vibey. 100. I like my meaning of it.
And that's why you're like convince yourself. I'm like, oh no, that's not what it's true.
No, what he meant.
My way. I prefer my way.
Damn it.
Well, keep it moving.
Keep it moving, because I ain't got shit, girl.
Okay.
I've been listening to like musicals.
I was listening to Dreamgirls the other day. Not even gonna lie, it was hit. Okay.
It's such a good musical. It's good music too. Oh, I love musicals. Okay, we got Partners and Wine next. You got your notebook and your pen, your pencil. Oh no, it's your board, girl. You got your board? Your board?
I'm my board, but I forgot my board. Hold on.
Okay, I got my board too. Okay. Okay, Partners in Wine is our second segment, y'all. And that's basically when me and Alexis go back and we ask each other questions and we see which one is which. How do you explain that?
Still making a lot of noise. I also want to do a cleanse. I didn't tell you that. I'm doing a cleanse again.
Oh, okay.
The smoothie cleanse. I know you feel like they don't work and all that kind of stuff, but
you do what you do, girl. What is that? A cookie? What is that though?
It's a cookie from Pop Buddy.
Oh, is it? It looks like a lemon cookie though. Is it a lemon cookie?
Chocolate chip oatmeal.
Oh, that's nice.
I was gonna start with the smoothies just straight in, like 10 days of no health foods. I was like, so I'm doing doing smoothies for the day, and like a smoothie at night. Because I need like a reset. That's what I'm not supposed to be drinking because I'm supposed to be resetting. But I'll start officially.
Girl, you do what you do. Partners in Wine. Take 2. Partners in Wine is when me and my bestie Alexis go through questions and we see which one is more likely to, or which question pertains to the other person. You get me?
Gotcha.
Okay. The first one is, you got your board? You got your board? Okay. Partners in Wine. The number one question. The first question. The number one question. What the fuck is wrong with me? the hell is wrong with you, girl? It's okay. Okay. If your friend was a clothing brand, what would she be?
Like an existing clothing brand?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
What? Oh, I think I know what you're gonna say too, and I'm gonna be like, no.
Y'all know what I'm gonna say.
I think I do. I should write down what I think you're gonna say. So
I know what it is.
I know you.
You do. You probably know what I'm gonna say, but you don't know what I'm gonna say.
Okay, well, we gonna see.
Stop.
Okay, let me see. What clothing brand would you be?
All right.
No, I'm not ready.
Oh, I'm ready. I got it down pat to a T. Okay, sorry for all the noise. It's better than me being hungry.
I also don't know how to spell, but that's okay.
Thank you, God, for cookies. Thank you, Lord.
Well, I think you'd be a lot of clothing brands. Yeah.
I'm ready.
No, you're
not confident in my answer.
I'm trying to figure out.
Girl, you wrote these questions. You ain't thought about it.
No, I thought that was the point. I also feel like sometimes when I write these questions, I think about me. I'm like, who, Tiana, what clothing brand would you be? So,
I'm not.
I don't like my answer.
Okay, you write it in 10 seconds. 10, 9.
No!
Hurry up! 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Your eyes are closed. You just staring at me.
Oh,
okay. 1. Close your eyes.
You close your eyes.
3. Turn. I did. Open your eyes. Good, G.
Okay, well, I was gonna say Adidas. Anthropology from okay, I didn't know we could say Marshall's. I was gonna say like Rouse.
Well, that you would have won. That was a clothing brand.
Damn clothing brand, not store.
Anthropology is a brand.
Well, yeah,
that's not a brand.
Well, I will give you Anthropology because I think they're in the same like people that own Free People.
But the first one I wrote was Free People, but then I changed it to Anthropology because I'm like,
okay, well, honestly, like, okay, because what I had was that you were gonna say Vera Bradley. I'm like, she will never. Huh?
You still like Vera Bradley?
Yeah, I like Vera Bradley. I like Miss Vera.
So high school.
I know that is me. I just feel like I was so fucking different from everybody.
Like, those ugly verses.
They're so cute. Don't do. I want a Vera Bradley bag so much. And I remember my mom, I made her go to like the Vera Bradley store and like the outlet mall. And she got so mad at me because like she brought me a bag that I didn't want. And I was like, she was like, you are just being really ungrateful right now.
Tiana, I can't say I disagree. Was that before or after the coat?
What? Well, that was way before. This was like when I was probably like a freshman in college. Yeah, but I mean, I wasn't being ungrateful. I was just like, I want what I want.
Tiana is the queen of knowing what she wants, but specifically gifts. Do not give her a gift that she does not want because you will know. Okay? She won't even deny it because she knows it's true.
It is true. I can't.
I would be like, you give me a turtleneck, a camouflage turtleneck. I'm like, Thanks. And just never wear it. Who has to know?
Oh no. I would know. I would be like, if I gave you a gift of like something that you could wear, and I was seeing that the next day, I'd be like, where the hell is the shit that I bought you? Like, why aren't you wearing my bracelet? Why aren't you wearing my cologne? Like, I'd be like, the fuck?
Girl.
I would be. It's only considerate.
To wear what somebody gave you, to be like, ooh, see, I like it.
Yeah.
That's like being a little kid. Having to say thank you for something somebody gave you.
Yeah, I'm honestly, I do feel like that's like a teaching, because like I think that every time like my mom would buy my dad something and they were going out, like he'd have to wear the shirt, or like if one of our like close people that my mom knew bought us something and we were going somewhere with them, like she'd put the clothes on us or whatever it is, like we'd have to like use it.
Yeah, that's interesting.
So maybe it's just like a upbringing thing.
Mm-hmm. That's what it sounds like. Because I didn't really have to do that, but I get what you're saying. But yeah.
I mean, but like, I feel like if you brought your like you brought Cameron a watch, that bitch, he better be wearing it.
No, he definitely. I can definitely see what you're saying, because I didn't know that you liked it, which he does wear.
Well, liked it, but also appreciated it.
Yes, liked it and appreciated it for sure. Yeah. Y'all are very similar in that way, though, with gifts.
Really?
Mm-hmm. But you want exactly what you want. Exactly what you want.
Yeah.
I got it.
Okay, the next one is, what is your best friend's favorite movie?
Oh, favorite movie?
I don't know if you'll get this. And also because I've watched an ungodly amount of movies.
Yeah. You have? This man is so loud next door. He be hollering. No good reason.
Yes.
I'm 100% when I got this wrong, but I'm open to being wrong.
Okay.
1, 2. It's wrong, right?
What? Well, yeah, but I do like that movie.
What is it?
My favorite movie is Black Hawk Down. It's a military war movie. I don't know what the fuck is wrong with me.
Hawk Down appeals to you.
It is so good from start to finish. Got the adrenaline.
I never would again. Who's in it?
Oh, that's a good question. Who is in it? It's definitely. It's not an all-star cast. Like I don't even know if the motherfuckers that acted in it are still actually acting anymore. Well, actually, no. I think it was an all-star cast. I don't really know who's in it, but let me see.
Black Hawk Down.
Yeah.
I definitely heard of it. I just have never seen that movie. I also don't like military movies.
No, that's. I mean, that's real. I am trying to get out of like watching like cop shows and military shows and stuff like that. I just don't. I think that is a lot of propaganda.
Yeah. Is it Ewan McGregor? Ewan McGregor?
Oh, I don't know, but Ewan. I don't see him, but my favorite person that was in there was Josh Hartnett. I think that's the first time I fell in love with that man.
Everest Man was his name. He kind of reminds me of Johnny Depp.
Yeah.
In a way. That's interesting.
Oh shit, Tom Hardy was in there too?
He's 42. Yeah, 3 kids. St. Paul, Minnesota. Oh Lord, I'm about to go to the Wikipedia hole.
No, we're not going down there, girl. We're not going down there.
Like, oh, he got a dog? Okay.
Yeah, stop it. Okay, is your favorite movie The Notebook?
It is not. It's not anymore. Oh, that was. I don't know what my favorite movie.
You know what it was at first when we were in high school?
Probably high school, yeah. But I've watched a lot of movies.
Loving Basketball.
No, that's actually my favorite movie. I could watch. I need to watch it. Everybody always talks about like now how toxic that movie actually is, and now that I'm a grown adult, I finally see the error in the ways. I still like the movie, but
yeah, that's true.
I don't know what my favorite movie would be. I don't watch that many movies. Oh yes, I do. I'm lying. I don't know what my favorite. You know, I know I like movies with a twist, with a plot twist.
Ooh, Gone Girl.
That one, but and I don't even know if it's my favorite movie, but my favorite suspense thriller is Orphan. Have you seen it?
Girl, that movie was
Tiana. He will not watch that movie, but I'm really, really trying to get him because he doesn't like scary movies. I keep telling him it's not scary. My parents
it is disturbing now. When they and then she goes, well, we just want to talk to you about what you saw in the kitchen. She's like, you all were fucking. I'm like, what the
it could be considered disturbing, but it's just such a great twist that you don't see coming. And that have you heard of Natalia Grace? Do you know who she is?
Natalia Grace.
So Natalia Grace it's pretty much the same story as Orphan, but her story happened after the
I just saw that. I just heard about it actually. Was she Russian or something?
Yeah. So for anyone who doesn't know, Natalia Grace was I believe not Russian, Ukrainian. Is it Ukrainian? Yeah. A Ukrainian orphan who was brought over to like South Florida or something like that. And she was adopted by a family. And we're giving you the short version, but the family went down to Florida. They'd never, seen the girl, met the girl before. They got a call for an emergency adoption, which who's ever heard of that? I haven't. So they go down to meet this little girl because they're trying to like expand their family. And this is a white family, by the way. And as soon as they, get down there, Natalia like sees them and she's like, oh, mommy, daddy. Like, what little kid is saying, like, mommy and daddy to, like, people that they never met before, that they just got adopted by. And I think she was probably, like, 5 years old at the time. So, fast forward, they get her and take her home, and then just weird stuff just starts to happen. Like, they were she's also disabled. I think at that time she was, like, in a wheelchair. So she's at the beach with their other two boys. And then the boys are like running around and playing and stuff. And then she's just like watching them, play. And she's like, oh, I want to play too. Like they thought she was disabled, could not walk. Why she get up and run through the water with the boys? Mistake number one. Number two, they get her back to the house. Again, she has to be supposed to be like 5 or 6 years old. And then the mom starts like noticing weird stuff. Like she's hiding like, panties and stuff that have blood on it, which denotes that she's having like a menstrual cycle. 5 and 6 year olds don't have menstrual cycles. And then it got so bad to a point where the mother thought that the girl was trying to poison her. All this to come out and discover that the girl was probably much older than she actually was. She did have a disability, some sort of like dwarfism. I don't know the exact name for it. But she was most likely much older than she told them that she was. There's no telling if she was actually like Ukrainian, because I think they had like some Ukrainian friends, and they had them come into the house and they were speaking to her, but she had no idea what they were saying. And at 4 or 5 years old, you can speak in like your native language, even if you don't have an extensive vocabulary, you should still be able to hold that conversation. She had no idea what they were talking about. So it's like, who is this? Like, who are you? They ended up like leaving her like in an apartment. And again, I'm giving you the very fast track version. You need to look up the story because it's like insane. But they ended up leaving her in an apartment so that they could move up to Canada because their son was like a child prodigy in like mathematics, and he had this big opportunity in Canada. They got to a point where they left her, and she was in an apartment for a year, and she was like sustaining herself. They left her probably like money to get groceries and stuff like that.
They found out that she was not a kid.
They took her to court, I think, and the judge ruled that she was actually somewhere around like in her early 20s, like 22, 23 or something like that. She was not a 5 or 6 year old. She was like much older. So she was like an adult woman. So they like leave her at this apartment because they had an agreement like, you trying to poison us and you lying and stuff, like this is not right. We can't do this. So I think long story short, somebody like I don't know, called the cops and said that a child was being left alone, and then they were arrested. Or like on record, I think on her birth certificate, she was still like in their custody as a child, even though it was, assumed that she's much older than she actually is. And I'm pretty sure she was much older than she actually was. But yes, they got arrested. They got arrested. The parents were divorced. It was like really bad.
What, the parents, they got a divorce too?
Because it was like too much. It was too much to like handle,
How can a divorce like did they disagree on how to handle the situation?
Probably, but that's the same thing that happened in the movie though, because you saw the movie. The wife was like, "Hun, like something is very wrong here. I don't like the shot. Something is bad here." And the dad was like, "Oh, you're being too harsh on And that circumstance in the movie, the little girl was trying to get close to the father to like have a relationship with him, so they didn't even agree.
Oh.
So it's probably, of course, probably not something as extreme as in that movie, but I can imagine, especially who's to say that the relationship was strong to kind of begin with, to then have to go through something extremely traumatic, like
because that husband could be a pedophile.
Mm-hmm. He could, like, talk about a rabbit hole. Like, I went to watch every video I could possibly watch, read up on like all the news articles and stuff, because I'm just trying to understand. And it's still like a mystery, because I don't think there's been any like matter of fact scientific ruling that this girl, now she would be somewhere, I think like in her early 30s or something, that she's much older than she actually like is. There's no exact age. And now she's been adopted by a completely different family. Well, I'm gonna reserve my judgment. The wife is white, the dad is black. They a different kind of family, have a lot of different foster kids. And apparently she's doing just fine there. But something ain't right.
Is she not a child though? Girl, this is some bullshit. Okay. You know what? This is so interesting.
Isn't it? And it's like, no,
wow.
In that circumstance, knowing that she's much older than she actually is, and being terrified for your life. Can you imagine like a 5 or 6 year old who's actually like a grown adult? That's scary. That's scary. Because you have adult mental capabilities. That's frightening.
Yeah, because she said, I know what you're doing. You're fucking. And the bitch knew how to use a knife and everything. So. Oh wait, are you just frozen, Alexis? Oh
yeah. I was frozen. I think you're frozen. Yeah, no, that was scary. Where were we? Oh, what's the last
my fucking mind? I would be scared shitless. I don't even know how I would act in this situation.
Another episode, I'll read you the full story, because it is disturbing. I'm not even gonna lie. It's very intriguing, but it's pretty scary. That goes back to my favorite movie. So Orphan and Gone Girl for sure, because that had a great twist. And then also, have you seen Shutter Island with Leonardo DiCaprio?
No, I haven't.
Girl, that's a psychological thriller that just gets you.
Okay. Kind of really in. I need to watch that. Okay. I'm gonna watch. I need another movie to watch. You know what I need? If I were ever to have a partner to get married, like, they have to love movies just as much as I do.
Because you can have like little movie nights.
Oh, movie night!
Like, who picks the movies?
So the work day will forever end at 4 p.m. for Tiana, Annette, Yanni Glass.
Okay.
We'll be watching movies at 6.
Showtime. Pop the popcorn and get it popping. I love a good movie. Love a good movie.
Oh, okay. The next question is, what was your best friend's major in undergrad? Now, I did do this question because genuinely I do not know your major.
You not?
No.
I wouldn't be surprised because it's actually very long.
You should have seen my face. I was like, it's a lot. But I'm going to say what I think it was for the longest.
Okay. Are you ready?
Okay, me too.
One, ready? 2, 3. Education, English minor major, Spanish.
Minor Spanish.
Those are just a hodgepodge of all the things that I've been into.
Wow.
Well,
Oh no, your major was communication.
It was. I know I got yours right. I'll show you again. Women's and Gender Studies. Very easy.
Yeah, that was it.
Oh, I don't think it was.
Yeah, that was it. Although I don't know if my degree says interdisciplinary studies or women's and gender studies.
Oh, okay, because your concentration was probably Women's and Gender Studies.
Yeah, who knows?
Still the same thing. Mine was actually because they had a new major when I got to Howard. I actually went into it as a psych major, psychology, but I switched it over to strategic, legal, and management communication. It's extremely long.
Strategic, legal communication.
Strategic, legal, and management communication.
Strategic, legal, and management communication.
Because I wanted to go into like nonprofit work at that time and working like in a management position with like a nonprofit that was affiliated with child support, that sort of thing. But I went to education instead. So,
but you
point. What?
You can go to legal now. You can also do management. So
I got no credentials for legalese and nothing like that. No. But that was good. That was really good.
Yay.
So we can keep it rolling.
To our third topic. What is
grapevine? You want to get to it?
Oh, Heard to the Grapevine topics. I was like, what is HTTG? God damn it.
Not the name of our podcast. So the first thing that we have, well, I think you put on there was your first crush. So we're a little bit late after Valentine's Day, but that doesn't mean that we can still talk about love and celebrate love and like and all that kind of stuff. So do you remember your first crush?
My first crush, yes, was DeMarcus Walls.
Yeah, you're gonna say his whole name on the internet.
Oh, you know what? We should. You know what we should do?
We said DeMarcus was like he is not.
Don't say it again because we're gonna bleep it out. We're gonna be like boop. So now we gotta do two boops. We gotta do two boops. Okay, that was at 52:49. So let me write that down. It's 52:49.
She's not writing it down. She said this will not get out to the rest of the world. What he look like? Did I know him? Did we go to school together?
You did not know because his ass kept getting.
I don't remember that name.
Girl.
Oh, you like the bad boys.
I've always
the rough.
Always have, and it's like so wild. Like, and he was my crush for like a good 8-9 years.
Excuse me?
Yeah,
8-9 years. That's your school husband.
4th, 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th. Oh, maybe 5 years because like I think that he just was in alternative schools and probably juvenile at that point. But I don't know why. I felt like we always just connected in some way, even though he probably only liked me once. And that was it.
Connected how?
Huh?
Connected how?
I just feel like we could just talk, and he was funny. I would laugh. And that was the extent to that.
The long and short of it.
Like that was it. Like honestly, like he didn't know who I was. He didn't know who the fuck I was. He was interested in this other light skinned wench. So
Lord.
But I don't know. I just like was always so drawn to him. Maybe it was like the fact that he was like always getting into trouble, or I don't know, just attracted to him. He was tall boy in the class. He was dark skinned.
Did he know that you liked him?
I think because we had to do summer school together. When I was in 3rd grade, I think that there was one point where he did like me. And the only reason why, and this is probably so inappropriate, but like I used to get so many people used to pinch my ass when I was in 3rd grade. Yeah. And he definitely pinched my ass.
Girl, what was y'all doing in the 3rd grade?
Pinching ass.
Pinching ass.
Exactly what we were doing, girl.
What'd you do when they did that?
I was like, ooh. And I just feel like, I feel like this also can go into like a whole other conversation that like stems from when we were talking about like kids with sexualities and like and stuff like that. Why it's very important to give kids safe spaces to talk about those things and explore those types of like things and feelings. So, but then what was agency anyway?
Exactly. It's kind of comical that I feel like your response then and now would be like the same. So like pitch ass, woo.
Right. And like I feel like that's all you need to watch Big Mouth. I don't know
I've seen it before.
Big Mouth, huh?
The cartoon, I've seen it before, the animated series, yeah.
Yes. Everybody should watch Big Mouth, I think.
It's really good stuff. Very sexual, very vulgar.
I guess it is vulgar, but for me, I'm just like, girl, like that's just like that is literally puberty.
Wow. Okay, I almost said his name again, but I won't. Okay. I wonder do you know what he's doing now in life?
Probably in jail.
You think so?
Probably.
He was like a better boy like that?
He was bad, girl. I mean, like he went to Ferguson Middle for about a week until he got put out.
What did he used to do? Fighting or what?
I have no idea. And that's another thing. I think that education is obviously very interesting, and I know that you already have like a deep insight, but I was just learned about truancy.
Oh yeah.
And I'm like, I wonder, because like, a lot of the times, like it's not that he got into fights, because like we were friends with everybody in our class, so we never really fought back then. Mm-hmm. But I think that it could have been just like talking back one, or just not coming to class. So
yeah,
obviously, like I know that he's had like a very hard life, so yeah, I think he we all had like interesting lives, but like I think he had him and this other boy that I know for sure like had really, really bad homes. So but yeah.
Oh, well, he's doing well now.
Me too. Who's your first crush?
My first crush. His name, I'm gonna say his name because I don't remember his last name at least. I don't know if anybody has a year, but his name was Quentin. Doesn't it just sound like my type?
Did I know him?
Huh?
Did I know him?
No, girl. He went to we were in 2nd grade together. He stopped once in elementary school, like years before I even left it. But he was just really cute. He was like a little chocolate, brown skin, little chocolate drop. He was like real like sweet. We used to play together, but I think he ended up liking someone else whose name also happened to be Alexis. How the tables turn. He was cute. I just remember him vividly being my first crush, just on the basis of like him being cute and him being nice. You know what? I just lied. On national television.
Oh, national television.
You know who my first crush actually was in kindergarten?
Oh shit.
Do you know?
No. Oh yeah. No, I do know. Okay.
Do you know
starts with a T.
Yeah. It's interesting that you said you had a crush on somebody for 9-10 years, because I don't know about 9-10 years, but
it was actually 5 though. Don't worry, I ain't that damn dead.
I was just saying you said that first. I'm trying to be like, it was actually 5. Either way, like I had an extended crush on him as well, until just one day I just didn't, and like, girl, now his life.
But sometimes like I do feel like you all, I think this a lot, and I wonder if because of like systemic racism and like how racism like changes like our thought process. Like I feel like we are supposed to be married to these people.
Do you think so?
I do. I mean, well, okay, well, let me speak for myself because like I am a single Black woman and you actually do have a relationship, so you are supposed to be in that one. But I will say like a lot of, I know this other guy that I felt like would have been a great partner too, but because of just like life circumstances and like how we would just like went on two different paths, we just got away from each other, you know. And these are like, I mean, like we lived up the street from each other, and like how I told you that we would walk to school together, we'd have good conversations, and I just feel like peer pressure like happened to us, and we just went down different paths. But I do feel like if they had guidance,
yeah,
you know, I think that I probably would not be single.
That is an interesting thought. The first thing that came to mind, have you ever read The Other West More? Or like, heard of the book?
Mm-mm.
So the premise is actually the author is from Baltimore, and just the whole premise is like these two boys with the same exact name from the same city. I think they grew up a few streets apart, if I'm not mistaken. And it just tells the story of how their lives they started. I don't even want to say they start off on the same footing because they didn't, but they grew up in the same like location, like locale, and their lives just took completely different courses. Like one, I think the author, ended up having a successful life, became an author, had all these experiences, was able to travel. The other one of the same exact name, same neighborhood, ended up like getting out of prison. And just like, it's interesting. I was going to say funny, but it's not. It's interesting how like our lives kind of like chart their own course in that way, you know, just based on like, what your setup is like at home for one. But then too, like you said, what your life experiences are, like what your ideologies become, like what kind of, who gets in your head, like society. Right. Like it's just really interesting how your life can change in that way, for better or for worse.
For better or for worse. And I wonder sometimes if it was because of the things that I consumed, like as a youth, like I was very like watching Sex in the City and Uptown Girls, and granted, like those people are fucked up, but I wanted their life.
I love Uptown.
Uptown Girls. That is in my top 10. It's such a beautiful movie, I think. But I knew that I wanted that life, and I knew that I knew what I needed to do to get there, you know? So I always say, like, granted, like I grew up in a 2-parent household, but TV definitely played a huge part in raising me.
So. Yeah, that's really interesting. Shout out to our first crushes. Maybe.
I know. Shit ain't easy out here.
It's not. I'm pretty sure neither one of them are probably, let me not even say that. Lord, bless them, protect them, wherever they are in life.
Wherever they are.
Let me not even say that. Next. Oh, I'll skip right there. There's a few things we can watch. Did you watch the Wendy Williams movie?
No, I don't remember shit on there.
I know, but you should watch. It's interesting. Also, I won't even go down like the her life. Yeah, but it was kind of sad. Also.
Oh well, shit. Oh, can nobody make fun of her now?
It was kind of sad. I noticed that most of our topics are about love. Did you look at the 50 Shades of Black?
No, I didn't know that was on there. I don't even know what these shit is, girl.
I'm gonna send it to you.
50 Shades of Black. Let me look it up.
No, well, you can't look it up. It's actually something that I called it. Did you try to see? Maybe text would be the best way to do it. So the basically there was a girl on Twitter, beautiful, gorgeous, dark-skinned girl. And the caption, the post says, "Here is me, no makeup, no filter."
Wait, hold on.
Wait, did I get this right? "Here is me, no makeup, no filter. Please let me rest. I am not a dark-skinned girl. I've never identified myself as one either. And I have unimaginable love for all shades of black." Hence 50 Shades of Black. "Stop comparing me to other people." I'm going to show you her picture, and you tell me whether or not you think that she's a dark skin, could identify as a dark skin.
I'm looking at her now. I think she is dark
I'm
skinned.
looking for the picture. Oh, maybe I shouldn't do that. I might have to cut that out. What you say?
Girl, everybody just be nice. Okay?
She's a gorgeous, gorgeous girl. But I just thought that it was interesting how, because even in all the comments she's swearing, she's like, I am not dark skinned, I am brown skinned. Stop calling me that. But then I'm like, what is brown skin? Like, not what, because I know what it is. I know that some people might categorize me as like brown skin. I've always thought of like light skin and dark skin. And I feel like sometimes people avoid like that title of being called dark skin or like identifying with that because of like all of the, you know, things that come with it, all the connotations, like the judgments. And I don't understand this.
Yeah.
I don't understand this. So I was just wondering, you know, from one dark skinned girl to another, what do you think?
First, I just want to reread a line that she said. She said, "Here is me, no makeup, no filter. Please let me rest."
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know why, like, I have such a heavy heart after you just sent me this. And then
I'm sorry.
No, I mean, because like I for the life of me, like I think that there's like two things. Like, do I think that this is a bunch of malarkey? Like, girl, like you dark scared. Like, absolutely. Like, there's no denying that.
Mm-hmm.
You know? And I just feel like there is something to be said just about like the weight that dark skinned people carry. And the fact that like identifying as such has such a burden, you know, in itself. And so I feel like people like her who don't want to carry that burden because they see the consequences are like living in such a fantasy because it hurts too much, you know? And like I'm also trying to like it's not that like, you know, I can't like I'm not gonna say like this shit is stupid because it definitely is, but just giving like Black women like my prayer and like my heart, certain Black women, because I feel very sad for her. I do. I really do. And I feel like there's a lot of hurt that I read in that post, which I think sometimes kind of also like reads poetic to me, just like a bit, because when she said, please let me rest. And I also feel like I'm at this point in my life where I've had to and I think that what is not also talked about with colorism, which I think that me and you had mentioned one time, is that you are a couple of shades lighter than me, right? And like there's also, you know, whomever is darker, you know, gets treated worse or gets looked over more. You know, and I've, you know, just seen that with me and you just being friends, right? And just like people like looking at me and you and how they treat me and you, which I do think is like often rooted in like colorist like ideas and stuff like that. And I've had to, and I'm still learning how to like really love my skin and like love who I am fully, because like I know what people think of me and what they say about me and how they label me as being like a dark skinned woman. And when you're trying to scrub off your skin in the shower, I've been there. I've done that. I've wasted, you know, and I really want to be like vulnerable in this because it's hard. It is very hard to love this body that I am in. Being dark skinned, having 4C hair, and like it's very hard. It's not easy. And so I really hope and pray that this girl, like she gets to this point that she can really learn to like love herself, because it's not easy when the world is constantly telling you that you look like dirt.
Right. Yeah.
So
it was, yeah. Oh wow. Co-signing everything you said. I thought it was really hurtful too that it was like she was trying to prove her point repeatedly saying, I'm not dark skinned, I'm not dark skinned, I'm brown skinned, I'm brown skinned, and like really trying to separate herself from the idea or just the thought of like what it does mean to like be dark skinned. And it was like she's a gorgeous girl.
Yeah.
But like you said, it just the fact that it has to hurt so much, because even in our friend group holistically, the four of us, we have different shades all across the board. But we talked about this before, where like our lighter skinned friends are also seen, you know, like different, like when we're all hanging out together. And just to hear you say now, when you know there's an absence with them, then there's that same kind of like dynamic socially with us as well.
Yeah. Yeah, it fucking sucks. Like it does. And yeah, it just, and I don't know. And so, and I also like, you know, people always tell me like I'm beautiful. My mom has always told me I'm beautiful. I've had friends tell me that, men tell me that, all these people to tell me that. But like it means nothing if I don't believe it myself. And if really truly the society does not, because I feel like colorism is getting worse. And also, I think that people don't realize it's like desirability and like your skin tone. Like you could be dark skinned, but be socially desirable. So it makes existing in your body easier. You know, like
your skin tone.
You know, like when you think of like Naomi Campbell, you know, like, yes, she's dark skinned, but she also has a social desirable features. You know?
No. Okay, I thought you were saying something different, but no, definitely.
Yeah.
Especially when you have more European features, you have like the more like narrow nose or the, you know, high cheekbones or whatever the case may be. No, I completely.
It's socially desirable, like Sonya Latham. You know, like, and what's her name? That's married to that basketball player, and like Kelly Rowland and Gabrielle Union, who are like darker skin, but like. And this, and one of my friends who identifies as like fat and dark skin, like told me that it's like their blackness looks good on them. They don't have to like having like discoloration and like having like uneven like skin tone and just like not being socially desirable. You know, like it matters, and people just like stop the conversation so soon when it's like a long, like complicated narrative. So, yeah,
that's deep.
It is deep, and
that's much deep. Because it reminds me like the like Viola Davises of the world. And, who else is out there that we know and love? Dark skinned, beautiful, like Black women. Because there's like
did you say Viola Davis?
Yeah, Viola Davis.
Oh, okay.
I remember on How to Get Away with Murder, there were like a lot of articles and think pieces coming out. You ever see How to Get Away with Murder? Where she would like take off her wig and sometimes remove her makeup and stuff like that. A lot of people were really upset with that. And a lot of the comments I was reading was like, you know, they have to make her look like that on TV and, you know, making her look, you know, ugly or whatever the case may be. And I kind of like sat on the fence with it because I was like, in one way, yes, why do you have to like make her look like that? And the other way, I was like, that's just, I don't understand why there has to be ugly. Like that's how I look. That's you know, how we look, you know? Because it was a white girl, got a ponytail slick back, takes off her makeup. We might be like, oh, you know, dark circles, but nobody's gonna like race to call her like ugly or unattractive or like
Alicia Keys. Like Alicia Keys.
Like Alicia Keys and her no makeup campaign. Which pisses me off.
Yeah.
Pisses me
off.
It's
easy for you.
It's easy.
It's easy for you. And like I just like I look like Viola Davis when I wake up. And like I feel like it's so crazy because I'm like, I just feel like they are trying to continuously make us feel like we are truly undesirable and that we are animals and that we should not look like that. But I do. And why is that an issue? You know, and I think that's why like I've been challenging myself more to like wear my natural hair and to like be in this body because like so many people want you to look like different and like put together and like like all these things. I'm like, well, what happens one day if I take off my wig? What happens one day if my face is not made up? Like, will you still love me?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And so I'm like, well, then when you meet me, this is what you get.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yes. Oh wow, I love it.
So
a lot.
yeah,
That's kind of like really sit with that.
yeah. It is funny because like I was kind of like in this pod, and I don't think I'm gonna be in this pod anymore. Like this like COVID pod, and this one person was like added in the pod, and I was like, you know, when we like all had got together, it's like 5 of us, because it was a person and their mutual friend, and he wouldn't even look at me. Would not even look at me.
Why? Was he white?
No, he wasn't. I think he was mixed race. I think he was like Asian and white, maybe. I don't know what the fuck he was. I shouldn't say that. I know what the fuck he was. But you know, I just feel like it's just interesting. Like I just feel like the whole of who I am is like a threat to people. And I noticed, I was just like, that's so crazy. Like,
did he talk to you any?
Not really. Nope. Don't know if I made him uncomfortable. Don't know. And
yeah,
but I could not help but to think though, if I was lighter skinned, would he feel threatened?
Really?
You know?
I don't know if he felt that you were like a sign of a threat or a political statement. I don't know.
And that's the thing is like I remember when I was working at my server job, and this guy who was like Asian, he comes up to me, he said, when I saw you walk in, I just knew we was getting political. And I'm like, you know, I'm just like a black, like at my core, I'm just a black girl from St. Louis that likes country music and likes to sew, likes to twerk occasionally. Like, I'm not here to make any statement. I'm just here to exist.
And just be. Like, you have the privilege and opportunity to do. Like,
I didn't come in here wanted to be like no, like that's not me. And there may be some black people, and that's completely fine. You know what I'm saying? But like, it's like, and that's the thing. Like, I think dark-skinned people, black people, but specifically dark-skinned people, don't have a choice. And like, I also feel like that's existing in this girl who like constantly, we don't have choices, and like this is her. I don't know if it's taking power back or just trying to hold on to power and trying to like identify and have power in that. But I think that this is definitely, like you said, like it's a lot more nuanced and complicated than like we actually give credit to. So right.
Okay. All of our topics are about love. Speaking of love, or maybe the absence thereof, you asked me earlier if I watched Malcolm and Marie, and I did. I know that you did. Honestly, I don't even know where to start because that shit was so triggering.
Yeah.
So triggering and like traumatic for me. So I'll let you. What were your thoughts?
Well, you go first because I feel like I've been going first.
Okay, yeah.
Wait, is that who is that on the show? Oh, okay. I thought that was
Oh, girl, this guy really
no, on your shirt. Oh, I thought it was Odu boxer. Muhammad Ali. I was like, oh, that's my second man. Black Jack Johnson is my first. Black Jack Johnson.
I'll have to look him up. I don't know.
Oh, he's at
this Silver Room in Chicago.
Mm-hmm.
What's the guy if you haven't been there yet? Actually, this is actually a really famous picture, but I feel like this is someone I should know. Probably should look it up. Have the shirt on. But sometimes I wear the shirt in public so white people can skirt. But Malcolm and Marie, I don't have a whole lot probably to say, like a whole thesis But I will say that movie was triggering and like in a real way traumatic for me because I've like lived that like life and that experience before, and it just caused me to kind of replay and recollect all those times where we like argued so, I was gonna say intensely, but like really viciously, and it's also a movie I won't probably ever watch again. And put it right in the vault with For Color Girls, Precious. Like I don't movie.
Yeah.
Because I will say John David Washington and Zendaya did a phenomenal job. I thought like the cinematography, all that kind of stuff was beautiful, brilliant. I could see like artistry in that. But as far as like the storytelling, and it was literally like an hour and a half of straight argument, and they were like being brutal with one another, more so John David Washington with Zendaya. And it just, I think, and Zendaya captured it on film very well of like what it looks like and feels like to be broken, with yourself for one, but then like broken in like a relationship. Because I'll never forget that bathtub scene when he came in after she said something that probably hurt him and cut him down to size. He comes in the bathroom. He's like, yeah, you want to know about my exes? Well, there was this girl named Tasha. I fucked her 5 times, and the sun came up in St. Louis at 5 o'clock in the morning. And then there's Keisha, and like he's just going down the list, like trying to hurt her person after person after person. You really not even all that great. You only with me because your self-esteem so fucking low. Like you should never set out to hurt your partner. Like in any context, if you feel like you have to like brutalize someone and like really go, because we all can go for the jugular. Trust me, I know. But that, if you feel like that is your win, you should not even be with that person. And it just reminded me of all the times where that kind of like happened to me and made me like replay all of those moments of like emotional abuse and like what it looked like for me in that time, and like where my self-esteem kind of like was. And it's interesting that what's funny is that he and my current though, and I were gonna watch that on Valentine's Day because we didn't really know what it was all about, but we ended up watching it with a group of friends a couple nights before Valentine's Day. So it was just 2 couples like watching it together. It's like, thank God we watched it then and not on Valentine's Day. Because I probably would have like cried or like something, because it's not a joyous movie, So that's just kind of where I am with Malcolm and Marie.
Yeah. I think what mind boggles me is like a mind fuck. I was like, first of all, like this shit was based off of like a white person's like night. Like it was based off like a real event that happened to the director, that he and his wife got into it about him not thanking her. So I think that he does Euphoria, which is what Zendaya is in. Yeah.
I don't know that.
And so I think that from what I was reading, and like honestly, y'all like correct me if I was wrong, but like this is just me and my like story and like the shit that I'd be like looking up. But Sam Levinson, whatever his name is, the guy that directed Malcolm and Marie, and also directs and is the maker of like Euphoria, which actually was a show that existed in somewhere in Europe first. But I think that he won an award and he did not thank his wife or his girlfriend at the time, who had a very big role in like helping him like bring this to life. And so number one, like it's based off of white experiences, and then you just like put in like Black people in it. It's just not cool. And like I just honestly feel like, yes, like as traumatic as it is, I think that it was also like, it's not even our story. Just like, so like, how the fuck could you? And like, and I also think that, and I don't know for sure, and I needed to look it up, but that scene when she was like acting,
that was good
with the knife, I think that was a scene in like Euphoria, I think. So I don't know. I just like, I feel honestly like, was it that was just a bunch of malarkey, and it was distasteful, to be quite honest. It wasn't. I could also go without seeing it again. Like I don't think that the movie in itself was like a good movie. If I was Rotten Tomato, it'll get 3 out of 10. So I also don't like. Sometimes like I just kind of feel like I don't know. It was just poorly done, to be quite honest. So
I
yeah.
think the acting was good. I will say that. I think that Zendaya and John David Washington are both really good, like skilled actors. I just at the end of that movie, I don't even know if it counts as an emotion, but the only thing I felt was exhausted.
Yeah.
I felt drained. I felt like what the fuck. And like when the credits roll, we were just kind of like sitting there staring at a blank, black TV for a couple minutes. It's like, wow. Because it was a lot. And let me see. My therapist, interestingly enough, she sent me some homework based on the movie. I didn't even open it. Well, yes, I did, but I didn't do it. It says, please watch the new Netflix film. Write down your thoughts and feelings about the film, characters, and what role they play in the situation. Themes to consider: communication styles, validation, need versus wanting, conflict resolution, vulnerability, honesty, accountability, self-sabotage, and self-love. Yeah.
Oh, that's a lot. That's a
lot. I didn't do it.
Assignment. That's a very big homework assignment.
Huh?
That's a big homework assignment.
Huge homework. That's a huge homework assignment. And I mean, in both of those circumstances, neither one was 100% right. Neither one was 100% wrong. But it just left a bad taste in my mouth with the way that they like communicated their grievances. For one, he absolutely should have thanked her. For absolutely.
Yeah.
And that happens a lot of times with particularly men who make it and, they kind of forget, particularly women who've been there, and like help them with their claim to fame and all that kind of stuff. And it's funny because one of their arguments was Zendaya saying that exact thing. You didn't thank me. You didn't think about me. You don't get jealous when other guys come around and like try to fuck me. It's because you think that you're like the big thing. There's like nothing on top of you. So there's no reason for you to express, gratitude or appreciation because I'm always going to be here. I'm not going to leave. So what's the incentive in, I don't know these markers, what's the incentive in expressing your appreciation when, it's not going to change things either way,
Yeah.
That's deep.
That is deep.
Yeah.
I thought about that scene and then I was thinking like, oftentimes I'm like, well, I really do hope. I mean, like, is Tiana a flirt? Yeah.
You told me you like to flirt.
Dude. So I didn't really realize I had that character trait. But then like I think that I was thinking about it in this way of like, well, I hope that my partner is confident in my love for them, that if I were to do that, which I hope not, because that's disrespectful, that they would.
It is disrespectful. But there's a difference between like flirting and like just being nice. Do you actively feel yourself flirting? Do you categorize it as flirting, or is it just like you being nice?
Oh, that's true. I don't know. Honestly, I don't really know that line just yet. Sometimes people have to point that out to me, like if I was just flirting or if I was just being nice. Because usually I'd be like, I'm being nice. And they'd be like, no, you're not. I'd be like,
well, you would know based on like how you're feeling. You would know if you're flirting and being nice. But that actually happened to me a couple.
Fine.
That happened to me a couple of years ago when I was, dating so and so. And I will never forget this one because there was this guy who was in school to be a what do you call it? Physician assistant, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
Like, yeah, physician assistant. And we lived in the same building. He was like super cool. So I always say hi to him when I saw him. We would have like small, conversation or whatever. But we were getting on the elevator. He went in first, and I was with my boyfriend at that time. And we both get on the elevator. And I'm like, hey, so-and-so. He's like, hey. And then we just have our like our natural banter, how we always do when he's not around.
Mm-hmm.
And when we got off and went to like my apartment or whatever, he got super mad. He's like, you're flirting with him and you disrespected me. And legit, I was not flirting. I wouldn't know if I was flirting because I would actually like him. I didn't like him. I was just being nice. And another thing is I feel like it's maybe the St. Louis Midwesterners. We're just social people. We like to have conversation.
Oh yeah.
Hey, how you doing? How's your day going? And maybe it was his insecurity, but I will never forget that conversation. He accused me of like flirting with someone.
Oh yeah, no.
None of that line, because I wouldn't want anybody to do that to me.
That is true. I would definitely care if my partner was flirting with somebody. I'd be like, what the fuck are you doing, bitch?
I'll probably say that. Like, I'm at a point holding no bars. What the fuck are you doing?
Stupid ass over here. You stay next to me. That's probably abusive, but I would definitely like. I would feel some type of way, because then I do feel like, you know. But see, I feel like, people should not flirt with people that are. Also, this is like part of like communication, because some people feel that if you're flirting, that's cheating. So that is a conversation that like I think is definitely important to have with your significant other. But I would still, I would still like hope that they know that I was like, okay, like I may be flirting with this bitch, but you know, you my main nigga.
Maybe I'm too territorial, but I cannot get around that. I cannot. That's one thing. I'm very flexible, and he'll tell you, like, I don't feel like I'm a jealous partner, nothing like that. But don't put me in a position to have to like be territorial or like, what the fuck are you doing? Don't flirt with nobody. Don't be exchanging no pictures.
I be like, you can flirt with that bitch, but not that bitch.
Like, I think the thing about it is, for me, don't have me out here looking crazy. Like, not. You have to know like what the boundaries are, what lines you can and cannot cross, because men are very territorial. Like, there's no, well, you know, some relationships you do what you do, but many men are very territorial, and they don't want, you know, flirting with other people. Or I remember it was okay. I told a lot of stories, but there was another circumstance with the same guy. And I had made some chicken wings, some hot wings or something like that. And we had an excess of them, which kind of goes back to our conversation about food and sharing, but it's not totally about that. I had maybe, let's say 20, 25 wings, and there was just two of us. So I had my neighbors or roommates at the time. We lived like in an apartment where everybody had like their own bathroom or whatever. So these two other girls were there, and I think like their boyfriends or whatever. So I was like, hey, do you guys like want some wings? Like, oh yeah, sure. So I gave them a few, not the whole thing, because I didn't want to keep them and then they go bad. So we still had hella wings left, but he got super mad about that. He's like,
girl, he was a jackass. He was a
jackass. Yeah. He was like, you don't be sharing. He specifically was like, you don't be sharing with like other men. They can go out and get their own. Meanwhile, his ass was staying with me and didn't have his own.
How funny is that? Oh, friend, you breaking up. What's wrong with our internet? Is internet okay?
I can hear you.
Oh, okay. Oh, I found out. Girl, there's a button to full screen. I didn't know that.
Oh, yeah. I'm at full screen right now.
You on full screen? I didn't know that.
Also, didn't want to speak first.
I'm on full screen now. Ooh, free.
You've been on like little screen the whole time?
Screen.
I need to see it.
Okay.
So I guess that's Malcolm and Marie. I don't really have much more to offer than that. Like, it was an exhausting, traumatic, triggering ass movie.
Oh, 100%. Even when they kept making up, and then he was like, I didn't like that at all.
Y'all clearly don't need to be together, just off the basis of, like, I'll say it again and again, like, your goal should never be to hurt your partner. Because there are a lot and women are good at this. There are a lot of things that we can say and could say to our partners, but like hold back sometimes to spare their business, because you know, like, once you say a thing and you really say a thing, there's no taking it back.
No.
So it'll always be like at the back of their mind, and they'll just always know that you like cut them.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh my God. I feel like I see that a lot, like with my parents, you know.
Like they cut each other.
Yeah. Oh yeah. But you know, because like men they hella sensitive, more sensitive than women, in fact. And I think that some shit just be like, my mom would say to my dad, and that shit just be like staying in the back of his mind for years.
Don't forget it.
Yep. And they bring it up 20 years. And mom's like, what the fuck are you talking about?
You don't forget it. Because even going back to that bathroom scene, if like, a guy, a partner had came to me and said all the people that he fucked and like who I'm not and I'm not that important, then why are you with like that's something that I cannot actively forget.
Mm-hmm.
The relationship would have been over that night. I don't want to touch you. Like, get the fuck out.
And I thought it was gaslighting too, because he was basically saying that like she was not the foundation or the primer of his movie, and that it was all these people, and that she wasn't good enough, and how big headed of her to assume that it was based solely on her life. Exactly. But truthfully told, I do think that was like a gaslighting tactic for him to escape accountability. You know, because like I do feel like still that movie was based off of her life, if she's lived it, if she's experienced it, and still, and even if it was these other women, it's not your experience. And she was like, right, like you'd be a fraud. You're a fucking fraud.
You're a fucking fraud.
So poor baby, she was definitely gaslighted. I think.
I'm surprised the movie also wasn't more violent, because like once you've been in that situation, and even with anyone where it's gotten so volatile and you're like screaming and yelling and trying to like cut each other literally or figuratively, I'm surprised glasses weren't broken, windows weren't shattered. I'm just really surprised there wasn't more, because they were cutting deep that whole fucking movie.
I feel like if a man, you've never watched Luke Cage, have you?
I've seen some episodes, yeah.
Okay, did you see that episode when he got, I think it was the second season, when he got mad, and Rosario Dawson, like they were like arguing in the apartment, and then he punched a hole in the wall, and she's like, what you're not gonna do is bring up my childhood by doing that. Like, you fucked up. Because like she was basically saying that it's just like, I told myself that I would never be with somebody that punches holes in the walls, and like that's like a red flag, and that's like a trigger. And I appreciate that, because like I feel like, I don't know, I feel like for so many like Black children, like fathers punching holes in the wall is like very salient across the fucking board. It's something that I just will not do. If you punch a hole in the fucking wall, you best believe that this is the last day you will ever see me.
Has your dad ever punched a hole in the wall?
A couple.
My dad. It's not funny. You going?
And he fixed it the next day.
Huh?
And he fixed it the next day.
Oh, ours is still there. Punch it in the basement, and there's still a gaping hole there that has yet to be fixed. It's also like a makeshift wall, like when you walk down the steps, there's like workout equipment, so it's not even a real wall, but it's still fixed.
Let me punch a hole in the wall. Wah! Wah! What the fuck is that? Stop it. Use your words.
Use your words. Use your words. Yeah,
I can throw plates, but I can, I can throw plates, and then that's just that. So.
But yeah, even if you get to that point, like no one should get you to that point, because I'm definitely, when I'm angry, like pissed, I want to break some shit. I want to shatter some shit. I want to throw a tape, but that's why I try not to get that angry, because it's scary. And you never know what you will do, like when you're, that upset.
Yeah. Girl, that is true.
You really like the average people that's in jail, I'm sure a lot of them never thought, like, ooh.
You said the average person that's in jail, they never thought they would be there, because they got a wine bottle and and then they could be like,
yeah, and that's shit. That's exactly how it probably goes. That reminds me of Chicago. What's it called? He had it coming.
Yeah. He ran into my knife 10 times.
Girl, he's like, some men just can't hold their arsenic. I said, ooh. Let's look up that song, y'all. I can't remember what it's called right now. from Chicago.
I feel like we're doing the thing again where we're just talking on the phone.
We are. Oh, it's called Cell Block Tango. Okay. All right. We gotta, because we are just talking now. This we might have to say for next week, but jumping from Malcolm and Marie to another toxic relationship. Tina, I wish you watched Married at First Sight with me.
Girl, I can't watch that bullshit.
I know, you should pick it up with me for this season, then we can talk about it. It's so good, but good in a bad way. Watch one episode with me.
You watch one episode, man?
Hulu, don't you?
No.
Yes, you do. I'm gonna lie to me on national TV.
No, I ain't got no Hulu.
Why don't you watch one episode with me? There's this couple on there, Paige and Chris.
Are they black or white or brown?
They're black. It's based in Atlanta this year, I think. And it's just full of toxicity, but like messy drama kind of toxicity. You gotta watch one episode with me to dissect it and analyze their behaviors. Just one.
Let's you know, I just bring out the worst in me. Oh.
Well, girl, the season we watched together, that was season 9, and that was just some bullshit. Because all that happened in that season was what's the dog name? Matt. What you girl? Ooh. But no, we can table that one because we're hour and 41 minutes in.
I'll give you one episode. I'll give you one episode, and that's it. And a bitch is putting that shit to rest, Alexis. I can't.
So how to episode? You only go watch
it. Shit. Oh,
okay. Now on to the good stuff. Our wine review.
Oh my god! Yeah.
While I probably should have had this page bookmarked. Well, we actually know. So the word of the week is Chardonnay because the wine we'll be drinking today is a Chardonnay. And just you, what do you know about Chardonnay? So I look it up.
Nothing. Absolutely nothing. I think Chardonnay is a white wine. And I think that it's like, every time I hear Chardonnay, it's a beautiful name. Yeah, like I would love a black girl named Chardonnay. I'd be like, yes, bitch, fuck it up.
Chardonnay.
Because brown people can name their child Hennessy.
Who?
Or nice.
Cardi's sister.
Ain't it that?
Hennessy? That's Cardi's sister, yeah.
Is it spelled like G or with the H?
Hennessy?
Yeah, like
H.
Okay, Hennessy.
Yeah.
Okay. And then white people got sherry. So why can't black people have Chardonnay?
That's a bit different.
Girl, no, it's not. White people got sherry and what other name? This liquor that they got sherry. Huh?
No, I was looking for the tab about Chardonnay so I can read it to you.
Okay.
Ready?
Okay.
Again, this book is from Target. They probably don't even have this anymore. It's called A Very Nice Glass of Wine. It's a guided journal that teaches you about, all different types of wines. They have reds, they have whites, and they dissect them, and they teach you how to buy wine. And at the end, they have a really cool. What the hell am I doing? Oh my gosh. They have a really cool journal at the back where you can, rate the wine and talk about all the different notes that you like. So,
oh my gosh.
Chardonnay. Ready?
I'm ready.
All right. It is a bit like reality TV stars, as in like Married at First Sight. This grape pops up anywhere and everywhere it can. You can't escape it. It's one of those so-called noble grape varieties. A better class of grape, if you'd like. I've heard lots of people say they don't like Chardonnay without realizing that it's the grape behind great white Burgundy wines, including Chablis. Chablis, I think it is. I suspect these same people have been left traumatized by an over-oaked Chardonnay at some point in their lives and therefore haven't returned to it in a hurry. However, the over-oaked Chardonnay style is less common now thanks to changing tastes and responsive winemaking. As a grape, it is relatively easy to grow and ripen, producing sizable crops. The actual taste of the grape is pretty nondescript, but winemakers love the malleable character of Chardonnay. They can really play around and influence the end result with the winemaking trickery alchemy. Chardonnay loves oak, and it changes character again when allowed to go through the natural second, what's that word? Malolactic? How do you pronounce that? Malolactic fermentation process. It may be ubiquitous, but Chardonnay comes in so many guises that there are enough differing styles to suit different tastes. It is also the white grape variety used to make champagne. I did not know that. Did you know that? Neither. Whether you want tropical fruit flavors, a peachy queen, a steely Chablis style wine, or even one with sparkles, there will be a Chardonnay for you. I've just got to help you find it. So I didn't know that the same grapes that are used to make champagne are used to make Chardonnay. So I'll look out for the flavor because, of course, it's without the bubbles and such. So that leads us to our wine of the week.
Yes.
You want to introduce it?
Yes. So we are doing the McBride Sisters collection once again. And this is the Chardonnay. Oh, you can't even say And yeah, so in honor of Black History Month, we are going to continue with the McBride Sisters collection. And the ones that we're going to try today is the Chardonnay. And for those of you who do not know, the McBride Sisters are two sisters named Andrea and Robin, and they own one of the largest, or the only largest Black woman-owned wine company located here in the USA. The US of A. And so a little bit about the wine that I've read, it has, or the wine style is a white wine. It's from California in the region of like Central Coast. And I don't know what type of grapes they use. I don't know if it's different than just like traditional Chardonnay. It doesn't say on the bottle.
Oh, okay.
But the price is about $16.99. That's how much I paid for it, and I got it from Total Wine.
I did too, yeah. I think it was 16, 17.
Okay. And the producer, again, is like the McBride Sisters. And my alcohol content is 13%.
Even?
Or 13.8%.
I was going to say mine 13.8. This stuff will get you lit. Because I was in Total Wine when I bought it and checking out, and I just happened to check it. I was like, oh, wow. And the cashier guy and I, we had a moment over the McBride Sisters. It was really cool. So like,
was he black or white?
To the brand.
Was he black or white?
He was black. He's an older Black man. He was really nice. He was telling me about all the wines that he likes by them. We talked about their red blend. He said they have I think he said a good cab. And then there was something else I got to think of. I should have wrote it down. I can talk to him because he might know me.
Well,
wait, don't open it yet.
It has
Don't open it yet. We got to take a picture. Let me see if I can do it like this. Okay, so cheese. Okay, cool. Good.
Oh, Lord. Okay.
Got to get our handy dandy.
So for those of you all that's opening a new bottle, here's a corkscrew. Some things like this stuff do be like challenges sometimes. So I'm gonna just put my bottle up here so you all can like see. So we have a corkscrew like mine. You want to take this part, it's like the little knife, and then you could just set an exit, cut it open like this, like so. Get that paper off. Yeah. You did it?
I think so. That's a new way for me to do it. I usually cut the sides, but it takes me much longer.
Because there's a corkscrew. Go ahead and put it in there. Okay, and then you can start twisting the cork, I think, to the right. Oh, because what is directions?
Oh, I'm with it. You said because what is I set my own rules. I know how to open bottle wine. This one is.
You can also turn the bottle, y'all. Okay, so once you do that, right, and the cork is like this, you're gonna take the little, what's this thing called?
We gotta learn the terminology for these.
I think this is like called a what do you call those things? Like
Lever?
Like grave mint or something. What I'm saying, y'all, is do you see this part? You see this? You see that? Oh wait, that? Okay. You're gonna do that.
Okay.
Okay. And then you're going to pull up like so. Okay. And so then you're going to take the one that's right here, put that bottle right there, and then pull up like so. And then you hear this pop.
Ooh, that was a beautiful pop. Oh, wow.
We should actually probably like put a popping noise like somewhere in between, like as a theatric. Yeah.
Yes, that's actually a good idea.
Good. All right. Now, how you pour it? Oh, first let's smell it. Oh wait, well, let's pour it in the wine first and not the.
Where'd you get your beautiful wine glasses? Or wine glasses?
Dollar Tree.
Me too.
So you're gonna fill it up like a.
Oh, that's too much. Oops.
Kind of like a quarter.
I definitely poured way too much. It's okay. I think.
Okay. And so the bottle is a little chilled, but not too chilled because it's been out for about 2 hours now. So, whew, all right.
Smell. All right. What do you smell? The notes. Oh, did we read the description on the back?
Ooh, I smell it smells sweet. It smells like
So sweet.
honey. I do have some notes actually. So it's a pale golden color, and the aroma smells. So I actually got on their website, and I can definitely smell it. It's just like it literally smells like a bakery sweet kitchen, and it has it smells very sweet. It smells like a bakery.
Mine smells very sweet. It reminds me of like the smell of like a Stella Rosa, but Stella Rosas are naturally like very sweet and they're only like 5% alcohol content. The notes on here say flavors of white peach, pear, citrus, and green apple with delicate floral aromas. Off the bat, I definitely smell that peach and that citrus flavor the most.
I smell honey. I definitely smell honey. It smells very sweet because like
honey.
The aroma, it was like lemon curd and honey, pineapple, and ripe pear. It smells like a Californian summer, and I've never been to California, but I can tell this is California. They're probably like, "You stupid bitch."
Okay, right.
It's true.
Okay, cheers.
Cheers.
Look, clink, clink.
Oh, wow. This tastes like a fucking bakery, Alexis Tucker.
Okay, what year was yours? I guess vintage. What year is yours?
2018.
Mine is too. Mine does not taste like that at all. At all.
It don't taste sweet?
Very sweet, but not like a bakery.
No, I don't know. I think also my taste buds have like changed recently. Like I feel like I'm more sensitive to like sweet things that are not really sweet. Like dates are sweet to me.
Okay. I definitely have that citrus peach flavor for sure. There isn't a strong oak flavor like the book was describing, but I don't think that. I think that was intentional because it doesn't mention anything about oak here. It's very smooth.
I wonder. Okay, let me put up I'm tasting pineapple. So citrus. Oh, I think what I am tasting is fruity. And I would say more tropical for me.
Mine is definitely more citrus based or citric, I guess. Veggie, herby, grassy, green pepperminty. I'm not getting any sort of veggie flavor. I don't think that's at all. Floral. You're getting more of an orange blossom or a jasmine.
None.
Really so?
Okay, but what is earthy? And it says old socks.
Ew, that's disgusting. That's disgusting. This is pretty good. I don't know that I always pick Chardonnays. I will say if I'm gonna drink a Chardonnay, it's always been have you heard of Ava Grace?
Yeah.
Oh, Ava Grace is like my favorite. And it's super affordable. Their wine's are only like $7. And the other Chardonnay I like a lot is Kendall. It's Kendall something. Somebody will tell me in the comments, but those two have really good Chardonnays, but Chardonnay is never really my number one choice. I always usually go like red. If I'm going to go white, I usually go with a Riesling or something like that, or a Pinot. But this is pretty good. This is pretty good.
I am, I will never forget though, and I shouldn't compare the two because these are completely different wine, even though they're they're actually not in the same collection because the Brut is in the Black Girl Magic collection. That wine, will ever have my like, girl, I mean like pop the bottles on a yacht.
Yeah.
That is
what I want. Wine again. That wine was otherworldly, super delicious. I think that one was pretty strong too. Very flavorful, smooth.
Yeah.
And I don't even like normally just drink Bruts. Like, usually mix them with something, make a mimosa or whatever the case. But that I could just like drink alone.
Mm-hmm.
I did go with that one. Yeah. I wanted to ask, do you get like any of those champagne kind of notes? Because I thought it was interesting that it's made with the same exact grape.
Yeah. Yeah. I can definitely taste some of that.
You feel like it was like carbonated, it would kind of remind you of champagne?
Yeah. So it says the zip acidity. I feel like there's like a low buzz. I don't think it's really like acidity though. I don't think it has an.
You don't think this is acidic?
Well, yeah, it says the zip acidity.
Oh, I see. Low buzz, medium, bite, lip tingling, high. I don't know what that's supposed to mean. Yeah. I guess low and medium. The grape. What are tannins? Did we look that up? Big, firm, soft. Do you know what tannins are?
Yeah.
I'll look it up.
But if I had to guess, it's soft.
Tannins?
Well, the wine, if I had to guess.
Oh. Let me see. A yellowish or brownish bitter tasting organic substance present in some galls, barks, and other plant tissues consisting of derivatives of gallic acid used in leather production and ink manufacture. That's pretty gross. Oh, wine tannins are grape seeds, tannin powder, grape skins, and oak. What are the options?
Wow.
Big, firm, soft. Yeah, I guess soft would be it. Because I don't feel like it's an overpowering wine.
Yeah. So then it's a low light body because it says the oomph, the body.
Definitely light body. Super, super light body.
Full body. That's bold, bitch. It says full body. I'm like, that's bold.
Yeah. I'm trying to determine whether or not I'm getting somewhat of an aftertaste, which is the case with most Chardonnays that I've tried, at least.
I would say personally, I like the aroma. I like the scent. Is it like my favorite? No.
I'm sorry. So that leads us to, we didn't answer some of the key questions. What we ate. What would you eat with this wine? What kind of food would you pair with this wine?
What would I eat? Naturally, like my whole self went to desserts. And I was like, something with curd. like like a puff curd pastry or like lady fingers with like powdered like sugar. Or a spotted dick. If anybody watches,
lady fingers is hilarious. That's pretty funny.
What?
I said lady fingers is pretty funny.
But I feel like that's what I would truly like eat it with outside of like, I mean, I think fish is like what's supposed to be paired with.
Mm-hmm. I was gonna say I would definitely do a fish. My favorite fish is salmon, but I don't know if I would pair this with a salmon. It's because yesterday we went to the store and bought a lot of different types of fish. So we got some tuna steaks. I think he bought some scallops, which is not fish, and not Atlantic salmon. It was like sockeye salmon. So I'd be interested in like experimenting and like trying to try this wine with one of those types of fish to see if it would pair pretty well.
I wonder like what if it was like tripe or something with that.
Well, yeah, I could see tripe or something like that too. I just don't know that I'm a huge fan of Chardonnay. And if I'm gonna get it, I have a very specific type and taste and one to go after. I don't think that this is bad. Which leads me to my question of, would you buy it again? Otra vez?
I feel like probably not for me, but for a friend.
It's definitely not a Chardonnay that I would rule out, but I probably, I guess I don't want to say spit because I like them in Bright Sisters, but
I think, so there's like, so we have like sip or spit. Maybe we can like put a, like, and we'll just table it.
Sip or spit or table?
Just, we'll come back.
Oh, we can say sit. Sit it over there.
I'm going to sit it.
Sip or sit or spit. Shit.
Right.
But I'm definitely going to drink the rest. Don't think that I'm not.
Ugh.
It's not all right now. All right, so that's our wine review for the week. We got to get out of here, y'all. We have two more segments. So, I feel like we've complained a little, I don't know how much more we can do, but do you want to do sip on that or, sip on that would be next. Do you have anything to sip on? Anybody made you mad? Anything got on your nerves?
Shit. I mean, no more than what I said the first two times about American Family Insurance and the white bitches in my class. So they can sip on that shit.
True. I think mine, and again, you're gonna watch Married at First Sight with me, right? I'm gonna try not to give you all the details.
I watched that one episode.
Tiana,
I don't know with
you.
Girl, that's because like the shit that I be watching is not traumatic.
It's not traumatic. It's just ridiculous. But so my tip on that is gonna go to Chris on that show. I'm gonna try not to tell you like all the details because it would defeat the purpose of you watching with me. But basically, like he's an emotional like manipulator. Because you know the whole premise, because you watched Married at First Sight before, where the person gets married to someone they'd never seen before, never met before, and just meets them at the altar. So he had tons of red flags before this, but his background is that he's a dark-skinned Black man, grew up in a Christian household, his family like preachers, and all this kind of stuff. So that already comes with its own, me as a church kid, my own like ideas and understandings about like who he is and how he shows up in the world.
Yeah.
Anyway, he gets married to Paige, who's a beautiful dark-skinned Black woman. I think she's 26. They're around the same age, 26, 25, 27, something like that. And his worst fear, out of all the things that can be your worst fear with marrying a stranger, is like, what if he doesn't find her attractive? Cool. Fair enough. Cool. It's a thought we might all have. I won't tell you what happens when he first sees her. But
what did he do? Like, what this nigga do?
No, because you gotta watch. You gotta watch. He is just an asshole, though. He's really an asshole. Come to find out, he's actually been engaged. Not only been engaged, but he was engaged like maybe 3 months before the show like premiered or was in production. So he's fresh out of like a relationship, let alone like an engagement. Dang, I don't want to tell you the big secret because you have to watch it. But anyway, I tell this to say that like if you watch the show, anybody who watches Married at First Sight knows that he's like a mass like manipulator. He has this way of when he has done wrong to someone else being Paige, when he's done wrong to Paige, he has this way of like flipping it on her so that he can get sympathy for himself and like his situation so that she can feel bad about the harm and the wrong that he's done to her. Case in point, one of the events was like on the honeymoon. He said that he was going down to get breakfast for the two of them in the hotel. Why was this man gone for 2, 3, 4 hours? He comes back. He's like, oh yeah, well, you know, I just had like a huge breakdown and I just can't, like, basically he didn't find her attractive. So he like goes on this spiel about that after they had already had sex. Like, if you didn't find me attractive, then why are you having sex with me multiple like times, you know? So then she goes and tells his family like after the fact because they had to connect with like the in-laws and the in-laws were like questioning like how's it going, and she's like, well, not really, you know, great. He told me that he's not attracted to me, but we had sex like these amount of times. I'm just really confused and I feel used like anyone would. His parents, his daddy is a nasty son of a bitch. Oh, so gross. And everybody was in his family was just like expressing their sympathy. Oh, but did you think about this? And did he say this? And did he do that? Like coddling this grown ass man, which, and I'm not going to go on a tangent because I really could, but enables that bad, manipulative, narcissistic, dangerous ass behavior. And it pisses me off to no end that he's all these things while also being like this church kid or like, you know, in a family of like preachers and stuff, because and I just know so many guys like that, you know. What also pisses me off is that Paige in this whole process is like, you know, we're going through this for a reason. God has a bigger purpose and a bigger plan. God does not want for us to suffer at no turn in the Bible. And, you know, I respect all beliefs, but I know for a fact that God does not want us to suffer. God has always said, I know the thoughts and plans I have for you, plans to prosper you and not to harm you. God is not intentionally going to have you be, you know, abused and hurt and suffering and in pain for days and months and years on end so that you can get to the promised land. That's not the God that I serve. Okay. Sometimes you will go through things to like learn a lesson, but you don't have to go through like misery and harm to get to like what's on the other side. And that just pisses me off. One, all the toxic bitch asses that he is, but two, that she's like in this state of her own faith and thinking that she's deserving this or like allowing this to like happen to her. I don't want her to like get up and leave.
Yeah.
Especially because you don't even know this nigga. So,
fuck you, Chris.
I say all that to say that's my sip on that. Fuck Chris. It's at the bottom of my heart, and I really want the best for Paige.
Yes, girl.
Yeah.
A piece of shit.
You do not have to suffer for love.
That burnt. No. Yeah. It's crazy that I think that I have to remind myself that a lot. I'm like, Tana, don't be out here in these streets, like just getting somebody just to get somebody, just to say that you've been there and done that. And then like get something green on the other side. Like it is perfectly okay if the person that you meet tomorrow is the bitch that you married the next day because you know that they it for you. You know what I mean? Like I don't so much toxic shit telling people.
It's just like the emotional abuse.
Yeah.
Narcissism combined that like really pisses me off because he knows what he's doing. Like you don't just leave for hours on end or say something like you don't find me attractive while like after you had already like fucked me, and then expect me to like feel bad for you.
Yeah. But that kind of, that is like mad manipulation.
Mad manipulation, and like you're weaponizing your emotions to where it is to the end that I look like the asshole if I'm like,
yeah, where the fuck? You know what he is? He a punk ass bitch.
He really is.
Chris, you punk ass bitch.
What is ugly? If you ever like, you'll watch the show one day, but so for you to be talking all this big shit of like, oh, I hope I find her attractive, because what that really means, like the what is it? Connotative meaning behind that is, I hope she likes skin. I hope she pretty. I hope she petite. I hope she got this kind of hair. Like, we know what you mean.
Oh, and girl, it's so crazy that you say that, because like, this is what we get into, like the male gaze and the white male gaze and male gaze particularly. But yes, is that, and so really, like, is she fuckable? That's all you want. Is she fuckable? You don't even want her for your love, for your future, for your prosperity, or like likewise. Or vice versa. You only want her to fuck. That's it.
Exactly that.
And is she fuckable?
I just, the show just drives me crazy, because it's like, why is he even on there?
Yeah,
and that should set her up for failure. Like,
it's detrimental to watch too.
Huh?
It's detrimental to watch. It's not fair. It's not fair to Black women.
It's not. And what I just found out about that show is that they have a clause in their contract that if you leave, you owe the show, like, the fine is like $100,000 or something like that. So that's why a lot of people are like forced to stay, which I understand from like a TV production standpoint. You want a show that'll stay together and people have like consequences or whatever. But to this end of like where this girl is being gaslit, she's being emotionally like manipulated and abused. It's like, come on.
Yeah, she should be able to get out of that.
She should. Because that's the producer's fault, having this damn ding-dong on this damn show.
Oh, yeah, they should have did better. The emotional abuse that people face on those shows, or just in general in Hollywood, like, something needs to be done about that shit.
And I think this is the worst that it's been, because we watched Matt and, what's the little girl name? Do you remember her name? Amber, I think is her name. Matt and Amber. I'm trying to think if there were other. Oh, you didn't watch last season with me, because this is when I went down the Married at First Sight rabbit hole. But there was a couple named Brett and what was that girl's name? Another white girl, which I thought she was cool. But they had like their thing. But there's been nothing like this in like the history of the show.
Yeah.
So that's my sip on that. I could talk about this all day, but we're 2 hours in.
Fuck Chris.
Fuck Chris. Which leads us into our final segment, which is Happy Hour. So in Happy Hour, we talk about, or we share, at least one thing that's made us smile, made us laugh, given us a little bit of joy in this treacherous season of COVID in 2021. Because we all need a little bit of a pick me up. Sort. So what's your happy hour, girl? What's going on?
My happy hour. I feel like I've had a lot of happy hour, like joy. And I think one thing, what the fuck? That I like look at every morning is Trevor Noah's Daily Show on Instagram. When I mean to tell you, that man like has me cracking up out of my bed. Like, it truly is like the highlight of my morning, because like I think that he is so just like, I don't know how he like can speak on such complex issues and such just like an eloquent way that's so digestible for like every human being. But it just gives me so much joy, and it's so funny, and it's so fucking true. Like, people out here are fucking crazy, and like he just has the best analogies for every fucking thing that white people do. And it's just beautiful. And I think it's references too that I like definitely get and I understand. And so, and like he has like these hand gestures. I just truly like enjoy Trevor Noah's Daily Show. That shit is fucking funny.
Trevor Noah is a really great like commentator and comedian. And I agree with with what you're saying about like him making things digestible, because it's just like talking to like their friend about like mass crises that are going on in like the world. But he's really good. Let me see.
No, I watch him every morning when I get up. I think I don't know if New York is like are they ahead of? Yes, y'all are ahead of us.
In our head, yeah.
So yeah, so when I'm like just waking up, he just already dropped his 3-minute video.
Is it like just something he puts on his Instagram, or it's like produced?
It's both. Most of it is on Instagram that I do know of, but he does have some like clips that are like 30-minute long, that are 30 minutes long, that he produces. But I do think that it's all like at home.
Oh, okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
it's really good. So that's been bringing me a lot of joy.
Okay. Well, I don't know what my happy hour was this week. The first thing that came to mind, and I cannot believe we missed this topic, but it was Gorilla Glue Girl, because at the end,
bad idea.
At the end of that very long, it wasn't even that long, but it felt super long, that saga, she finally was able to reach a plastic surgeon, who was able to remove the glue from her hair. She got a little slick, like I
seen a girl look good.
A little slick thing going on. You know, some of the places, I don't know if you saw the pictures, but some of the places on the edges, there were a couple like bald patches and stuff like that. But I'm really surprised it didn't all fall out. It's not to say that it won't, because with manipulation, if she washes it again, some still could fall out from like the chemicals that she put in there. But I'm really happy that she was able to get it out, because I was getting really scared for her, like genuinely scared for her, because it was funny when we first saw the clip. I'm like, oh my god, her hair like stuck like glue. But I started to think of like all the health consequences and hazards of like what happens if her hair follicles can't come out of her head. Like, if she has like ingrown hairs, like what happens if you have ingrown hairs in your head where your brain is? You have like all these harsh chemicals there. Mm-hmm. So I'm just really glad that she was able to get that situation figured out. I heard that it was free, so you shouldn't have to come out of pocket. I heard that she also donated the money from her GoFundMe, which I don't really know. I mean, but at least they did it for free. So she donated that. So I'm just happy that there was a happy ending, and don't do that shit again. Okay. What's funny is I went in Walmart the other day. I was looking for a water filter, I think, and it was like in the back where like hardware stuff is, which is where Gorilla Glue and like duct tape and stuff is. And I saw so many like containers or packages of Gorilla Glue like randomly placed around like where I was. I'm like, people really talk about this shit and buying this shit, because the Gorilla Glue does work. I'm not gonna say that because I've used it before. Not on the hair before. I think I might have used it to put an acrylic nail on. Maybe, I can't remember. I might have just been random super glue. But either way, no experimenting with Gorilla Glue.
Yeah.
Because I still don't understand exactly what the thought process was. I think what happened is that, because you know how Got2b glue works. Like, you slick your hair up, then you put the Got2b on to like secure it and hold it, or you can even use it for your wigs and stuff, because I do. But I think she thought that using Gorilla Glue would be like a life hack. I do think that she knew what Gorilla Glue was, but I think she thought, again, going back to the loopholes that we talked about earlier.
Oh yeah.
I think she thought that there was a loophole to where she could probably like wash it out or something like that.
Oh yeah. I
mean, she did that intently. But I am happy that she was able to get it out. So
yeah,
Jessica Brown.
I do like that Gorilla Glue had like we are very like they were saying we're very like concerned with like Miss Tessica Brown. I'm happy that they said Miss Tessica Brown, like show the lady respect.
Because a
But
lot of people calling her like stupid and like, why would you do that? But like, I really don't think she genuinely did that on purpose. People are accusing her for doing it for like Instagram fame. Nobody in their right mind.
that she did that, and I feel like that shit is all rooted in anti-blackness. So fuck y'all.
Mm-hmm.
You just like trying to like use this as a way to make fun of black women and demean them. Fuck you, you piece of shit.
Mm-hmm.
But she obviously, like you said, like it was just like a loophole. And honestly, like that could have been anybody. That could have been anybody. Like I could have done that shit. Like I like
It
we
could have
been snot.
There's gorilla snot, and then there's got to be glue, like glue, gorilla glue. Like, we're not going to act like we have no idea how she made the connection between the two.
No. Hell, I didn't know Gorilla Glue. I think the only reason why like I would not use Gorilla Glue is because like I think I first have seen it used on what do you call it? Like when I'm trying to build shit.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
I mean,
had I not had projects, huh?
I mean, hardware projects. So it's for like your metals and like your woods and to hold things, bond things together.
Yeah, and had I not had that experience with that, I would have absolutely like.
I never had it as a spray. I've never seen it as a spray. I've always seen it as like either the little glues that almost look like the nail glue thing. That's why I use for my nail, or like for like the bottles of glue. But I've never seen it as a in a spray can.
That is new, and they probably just made it for arts and crafts and shit, you know. But also, and just like we use super glue for nails, right? And super glue to like put things, bond things. Like super glue has multiple uses. I forgot my train of thought. Fuck. But yeah, like
it could have been anybody.
It could have been anybody.
And I need people to stop acting like they so holier than thou that they wouldn't have like made that mistake.
Made a mistake. Yeah.
Ridiculous mistakes.
Sure. Leave her alone. Like, and I think also like because like she's just. I mean that video was funny though. She's like bad idea.
Yeah. And at that point, it was in her hair for a month.
Yeah.
A month. Like she had tried to wash it out, and when you put water in the substance, it activates it more, so it hardens it. Like I was feeling bad for her.
And so that's what I was about to say. It's just like when we use like super glue, right? Like we know that like if we like have Dawn or if we do oil, like the chemical would react to like loosen it up. Right. And so also like that's the same thing like with the spray. Like you don't think that shit is permanent,
right?
That shit is permanent.
Exactly. Like a strong hold, but you wouldn't think like permanent for the rest of her life. But when she was showing on the video, I'm laughing now, but it's not funny. But her hair was slick. I said that hair looked good though, but it was slick, and she put like some shampoo or conditioner or something, and was just like rubbing it back and forth. That shit was not fucking moving. Not a hair on her head. It was ridiculous. I was like, oh my god, you got to get that out of there. You got to get that out of there. But I am really genuinely happy. That is like legit my happy hour, because I can't even tell you, like I was following that story, like showing him, look, she hit the doctor.
Yeah. Oh my god.
But I'm just really happy for her. So may she prosper, and may her best days be yet to come.
Amen. To Miss
So, have anything else? Hearts and minds clear?
Hearts and minds is clear, girl.
Okay, we getting out of here, y'all. Thanks for joining us for another episode of Heard Through the Grapevine, and we'll see y'all in
2 weeks.
Bye.
Bye.
Hold on.
Look, I'm like, oh.
Oh, ain't record.